Say again, what?
Have you had a dream recently that your golden run has ended? And what did that look like?
I didn't dream. Sorry.
So this might be one of the most depleted Roland Garros draws we've ever seen. And to add insult to injury, the reporters, it's their first day on the job apparently, because they're asking some of the most insane questions I think I've ever heard in my entire life. There's been like repeated attempts to build an article on how to slide. I don't really understand why. Who are you writing this article for? Because it's clay. You slide on clay. It's not an art. It's not a science. It's the response. It's the only thing you can do on clay. You can't stop on clay because it's slippery. It slides. That's the whole point of it. So these people ask you like, how do you slide on clay? I don't understand. You get some speed and you slide. That's literally it. And then there's been multiple other cases. Some guy was like, I'm doing an article on overheads. What do you mean you're doing an article on overheads? And then he asked Djokovic, who notoriously is bad at overheads, to give pointers on overheads.
I'm writing a piece about smashes, the overhead.
You're talking to a wrong person.
And then the worst of it was Jannik Sinner got asked if he has had a dream about him losing on this golden run.
Say again, what?
That isn't the worst of it, because number one, it's antagonistic. It's like, hey, have you thought about how bad it would be to lose? Have you prophesized you're losing and when will it happen and how bad is that? Let's put that out in the universe. Number one, that's already bad enough. But then number two, he effectively assumed that Jannik Sinner had already had this dream about him losing on the golden run. He phrased it in the way it was like, tell me about that dream. What do you mean, tell me about the dream? What? Why do you think he's had the dream in the first place? This all comes at the cost of the entire tournament heading in. Players are like boycotting media time. They're trying to dispute player pay. When they end up in these presses, it's like, those are the questions they're getting. It's like, what the ooh, we started off on a hot streak. Anyway, as I mentioned, it's a very depleted draw. We've got Alcaraz out, we've got Musetti out, Fils. We got Draper out. We have seen people drop like flies. So Alexander Blocks is now out, rolled his ankle, and then made a very spicy Instagram post making a slight at the tournament for leaving something what I would assume to be a tarp in the back of the practice court, which he must have slipped on or hit and rolled his ankle. He promptly changed the post and just said that he's frustrated. Vachereau is now out. Kokkinakis is made of glass. He comes back. He always wins the first match. He comes back and then just retires the next match. I don't know what he needs because he hasn't played in a while, so I've got no idea. That man needs Jesus. But regardless, we had some pretty good matches on the first day of round 2. And then throughout that all, Sinner is now on a 30-match win streak, which is pretty damn impressive. He's only the 4th man to do that this century. He has won 6 straight Masters 1000s. He is 18-0 on clay in 2026. One impressive stat also is he is 20-0 against players at their home slams. He's just a beast, man. He thrives on that stuff. But regardless, we had some pretty cool matches in the day 1 of round 2. Djokovic, he had a French Impéchi Pericard in round 1, which he was able to take out after dropping the first set. Then he beat Roya in round 2, and he dropped a set as well after even leading a break in that third set to close out in the straights. And then the reporter said this afterwards.
Reasonably long. How do you...
Reasonably long.
And that kind of pissed Djokovic off. So I don't know if it's just like people are fed up with reporting as a whole. The tempers seem to be short. Fonseca versus Prismic was the headline of round 2, and it absolutely delivered. So Prismic went up 2 sets to love against Fonseca, and it seemed like Fonseca was it was going to happen again. Unfortunately, another slam was cut short for him, but miraculously, he came back and won 3 straight to close it out in 5, and it was an absolute battle. Nearly 100 winners combined from the 2 young players. The first comeback from 2 sets down for Fonseca, and that has got to feel absolutely incredible, and you could see what it meant to him at the end of the match. Such a big milestone. I think when you finally come back from 2 sets down as a young player, you see that it's actually possible. It teaches you that you've got more in there. You know, when you go down that far, it just seems like it's such a big hill to climb, but when you actually do it, it then affirms that you got that dog in you, you know what I mean? Jodar, I keep saying the wrong one. It's an Australian accent thing, I'm sorry. Jodar is ahead of the game again. Like I said, he's got a pretty good run. He backed it up against Duckworth, even though he dropped the second set, which is oddly surprising, but he was able to get it done in 4. Kwame is one of the big headlines here as well. The 17-year-old beat the former US Open champ, Cilic, in straight sets in the first round. That is pretty damn massive. He's the first 2009 born player to win a main draw. He's the youngest slam winner since Bernard Tomic did in Australian Open 2009. He is a beast. He's 17 to win a main draw, a massive achievement, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do with the home crowd. There was 3 teenagers still left in the draw. Jodar and Fonseca through to the third round, and Kwame still has his match to play, so we'll see what happens. But 19, 19, and 17, that is awesome for the future of the sport, and we'll have to see what happens there. I'd like to touch on a few first round matches as well that I didn't really get to in a video I just made recently, but the Medvedev against Walton, I don't know, brother. I'm not really sure if that's an upset. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's Medvedev we're talking about. This is a guy who got double bageled in Monte Carlo not too long ago by Berrettini, like double bageled on clay. He did just have a good run on clay. Regardless, upset, I don't know. Good win for Walton, but regardless, it's Medvedev on clay. Also, as far as the Fritz-Basaviretti match goes, really good win from Basaviretti, but this is, again, Fritz on clay. And Fritz has pretty much won, like, one match this whole year. Like, he has not been doing really well. He's a good player, and it's a good win from Basaviretti, but in hindsight, if you really thought about it, pretty good chance that Fritz was going to lose that match. Some results that just came through in the round 2. Navone versus Mensik was a massive match. Went 5 into the super tiebreak, and Mensik was able to clutch it up 13-11, and he was absolutely cooked by the end of it. Like, this weather is really starting to get to the players. Rublev is through as well to the third round, and Borges came back from a set down against Kecmanovic. Borges is a bit of a dark horse here. I'm not saying that he's going to make a good run, but like, he is a player that can. Davidovich-Fokina is out. Vashra, as I mentioned, withdrew. On the women's side, Rybakina dropped in the second round, and also to Iga Swiatek's delight, Ostapenko was eliminated in the second round, which means they don't get that matchup in the third round, but I'm sure Iga is absolutely thrilled with that. Looking ahead in the rounds 2, we have Caboli and Wu still to play. We obviously have Sinner against the other Sarandolo. Fonseca then coming up in round 3 against Djokovic, and that is going to be the massive round 3 matchup. We'll have to see. Fonseca obviously just had a bit of a battle. Djokovic looks relatively unfazed so far, so that's going to be quite an interesting one to keep an eye on. Mensik Demonor is another one, but Demonor got to pass through after blocks withdrawal, and Mensik is cooked, and honestly his body normally just doesn't seem to be holding up too well. We got Paul Rudd versing each other. We have Paul versus Ruud, so Tommy Paul versus Casper Ruud. That could be an interesting one. We'll have to see. Hodar, keep saying the F word, I think. Hodar versus Mikkelsen, probably going to go Hodar's way. So anyway, that is effectively the happenings that are going on. The reporters are cooked. The draw is just getting absolutely smashed. The depletion is nuts, and Sinner, his pathway is becoming extremely clear, extremely favorable, and we'll probably get the Zverev-Sinner matchup in the final. We'll have to see, but I'd love to hear your quarter predictions. So what 8 players are going to make it through to the quarters? Let me know in the comments. I will put mine up on the screen right now, analyze it, pick it apart. Tell me how stupid it is. Love to hear it. Or I might be bang on the money. Who knows? We'll see. But regardless, hope you guys enjoy the upcoming matches.